Hello, and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. My name is Emily. Thank you for listening. It is dark days in America right now. It is just insane. But the last 2 nights, I have been super lucky. It's one of those weeks where I'm really glad that I live where I live because I had the opportunity to go to 2 different book events. One was the book release of Rebecca Traister, and her book is called Good and Mad, The Revolutionary Power of Women's Anger. And then last night I saw Soraya Chemaly talk about her book, which is called Rage Becomes Her. It's subtitled The Power of Women's Anger. So the subtitles of these 2 books are pretty close. And I'm super excited to read both of them. They're both of them are just what I need, and they're both of these women are writers who I have been big admirers of for a long time. So it's good when books arrive at just the moments that you need them, and then you just have to decide which one you're going to read first. Which there are worse problems to have, and that we are having them in the politics. Anyway. Thank you for listening and for being with me in this crazy time. I am on a little bit of a tear. Can we call it that? I don't know. I saw a friend last night, and she was like, "I've never seen you like this. You're unhinged in a good way." So there's probably going to be a blog forthcoming about being unhinged in a good way, but it's whoa. So this post is a sort of continuation of the last one. It is further imaginational exploration of rage and power, and it is called I Am Also Part Witch. Since I became a dragon, I have found myself on the streets of my city, eyeing possible prey. Becoming a hunter after a lifetime of being prey feels amazing. I know I can eat anyone I like, and the power is intoxicating. Then, while watching a long conversation between 2 men in a play about how hard it was to be rejected by an incandescently beautiful woman, I discovered my ability to make people spontaneously combust. I opened my hand, and a bubble of flame surrounded the man in the middle of a long speech. That show got a lot more interesting after that. The advantage of this power is that no one knows it's me. When I breathe fire from my dragon self, it is a big production, and the source is obvious. When I use my witchy combustion powers, I can be completely incognito. Everywhere I go, I have been turning men into balls of flame. I'm angry. I can't help it. I have to do something. My dragon self requires fear to feed itself, and no one is afraid of me yet. They are not afraid of women at all. Some say they are, but I don't believe it. So until I get the respect I deserve, I am combusting men on the street. I look at each one I pass. Is he combustible? The decent ones don't have whatever chemical makeup that allows my magic to work, so I don't know if every flame will light. Most of them do, though, because I have a lifetime of training in identifying which men will be trouble. Generally, if he's with a woman, he's safe. Men, if you're worried, and I hope you are, you might want to get a woman to walk you from place to place for your protection. If he has a nice smile, I let him pass, uncombusted. But if he has resting douchebag face, it's over pretty quickly. I've scorched every white man in a fancy suit I've seen so far. I'm not saying every besuited man is combustible, but I haven't been wrong yet. Because I'm a white lady, I usually let men of color off the hook. I figure I should let a witch dragon of color make that call. Unless I see them harassing a woman, in which case they're toast. Men pushing baby carriages or walking with their young children are safe. I notice an impulse to spare feeble old men who may be somebody's grandfather, but then I remember that Senator Grassley is a grandfather, and I torch him. Sorry, grandfathers, those dudes in the Senate are ruining it for the rest of you. Maybe bring along a woman or a grandchild if you want to remain uncombusted. Maybe a campaign will arise to defend them. He's somebody's grandpa. He's somebody's son. He's somebody's husband. I don't care so much. If he looks combustible, he's asking for it, and I will combust him. Men might be tempted to travel in groups the way women do. They might think a strategy for safety that women have employed for ages will work for men. They'd be wrong. Men in groups have historically been quite dangerous for women. There's nothing I would enjoy more than combusting a whole party of hedge fund managers at once. But, my fellow women and aspiring witch dragons, what can you do if you don't have magical powers like I do? I mean, you could just pretend. It feels almost as good and can make you feel powerful as you eye your prey on the street. That's definitely not what I'm doing, though. Not at all. I'm a real dragon witch. I have a friend who is practicing her growl, and I think hissing might be fun. One friend suggested acting like a Shakespeare heroine in a mad scene. You could just go full Lady Macbeth. Will these hands ne'er be clean? Here's the smell of the blood still. 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. I might try this myself, just for fun, before I combust him. Do you have ideas for how to instill fear in the predators around you without the benefit of magical powers? Please share them. And I'm sorry in advance if I combust your grandfather. So, podcast listeners, thank you for listening. And I will confess to you that I'm not really a witch. I really want to be. I mean, I really want to. But I guess if I keep practicing, I will eventually actually have the ability to turn people into balls of flame. But not yet. But I am doing, what I am actually doing in real life is like opening my hand and like making the sounds. and it sometimes it really works. Like last night I was talking with a friend just outside of a subway station, and this guy was like, we were engaged in conversation, we were laughing, we were talking, whatever, and both of us could sort of see him out of the corner of our eye, like lurking, like ready to, like he was really wanting to insert himself into the conversation or something. Who knows? But as he approached, like I just like did my little hand movement and went, and my friend was like, it worked. He just walked away. I guess he felt the power. And he understood if he waited around, I would have gotten some real magic. I don't know, but it was kind of amazing. So I recommend it if you need something to keep yourself from going absolutely mad. But also stay mad, as Rebecca Traister wrote in my book. Stay mad, but like don't take it out on yourself. Just it's very nice. Yeah. So I also think like just the physicality of being able to do something is I think that's half of it. Anyway, it's crazy times. So I have a song for you again that I just learned. At first I thought, I'll do that witchy woman song, because this is about being a witch. That Eagle song. I was like, oh yeah. And then like, meh. I probably will do it at some point, but I actually thought, no, Season of the Witch, because it's the Season of the Witch now. Join me, my witchy sisters, my dragon sisters, and brothers. I mean, if you want to be a part of the, vanquishment of horror, Your gender does not matter. If you are in support, we thank you. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Season of the Witch. So I've learned Season of the Witch, and unfortunately, I am not a bass player. So my favorite part of the song of Season of the Witch is the bass line, but I can't play it to my own satisfaction. So this is a bass line free version of Season of the Witch. That it is the quickly learned and quickly recorded version of Season of the Witch for these purposes of sharing all of my witchy goodness with all of you. And eventually we'll get back to my original plans for future blogs, but I'm not sure if it's going to be soon because I have a few coming down the road. Like a I don't know how to describe it. It's like a wind of rage that's just like, and this, and also this, and also this. So, yeah, fingers crossed for our political situation here. I am not particularly optimistic about it, but I am ready to raise hell. So there you go. Other things before I give you this version of Season of the Witch. If you would like to listen to my other podcast, I invite you to. It is called Reading the Library Book, and it is a novel for young people that I am reading one chapter at a time. I recommend starting from the beginning, as novels tend to work better that way. It's on all the platforms except for weirdly iTunes. Something weird happened with iTunes, so it's hard to find there. If you're already subscribed there, you're fine, but I don't know if you'll be able to find it. Look and let me know if you find it. But otherwise, it's on all the other platforms, and you should be able to find it, no problem. Otherwise. And eventually I'm going to change the name of the podcast so that it can be on iTunes. But for some reason, they rejected it, and it needs a new name. It's so lovely to work with large corporations. Anyway, so that you can look for that, or if you would like to hear some music, all my sort of albums from the podcast are on Spotify at Emily Rainbow Davis. You look for me there. There's a new album of lullabies that just came out, so if you know a young person and you would like to share those lullabies with them, they're on Spotify and all of the other digital platforms, as well as on my website, which is the best place to get it because then I will give a donation to the Women's Refugee Commission. And my website is emilyrainbowdavis.com. And that's all the plugs I'm going to do right now. Thank you for listening to my dragon witch self. And here is Season of the Witch. Look out my window, many sights to see. When I look in my window, so many different people to be. And it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. When I look over my shoulder, what do you think I see? Summer keeps looking over his shoulder at me. And he's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up look in my window. So many different people to be, and it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of